yeah, how we need to kind of stop, pay attention to what our body, our minds, our emotions are telling us, right? When we're under too much pressure and we're struggling to cope, not pushing ourselves further than what is healthy and further than what makes sense. Here I am. Did my office say anything? I was just on a pitch. I apologize.
No, it's Deanna hopped in.
Perfect, perfect.
No problem. Well, how are you doing, guys? I'm Tracy Mitchell, VA. How you doing?
Hello, Tracy.
Hi,
how are
Tracy.
you?
I'm so grateful to be sitting down with some iconic Black women. I've grown up watching you guys, just your journey and how you guys been able to just level up in your career and make a change for us.
Oh, thank you so much, Tracy, for making me feel so old.
Hey, she don't look a day over 20.
Kidding. Thank you. That's very much appreciated.
Oh my gosh. So with BET Her, there's so many things going on. You guys have a new series coming out. First off, it was filmed in Maryland.
Yes. That's my hometown in Maryland, and that's where I produce the majority of my movies.
Why do you pick Maryland? You just want to stay in your hometown, or is that just something that?
You know what? I'm big on hospitality, so I think if I stay here, I know where all the best restaurants, the best hotels, everything I need is right here. Every time I venture out, I'm like, some things looks a little suspicious, right? So right here, I can get everything I need.
She is planting her flag and building her empire where she lives. She's bringing the business there. I love it. Because in everything, Megamind, they had tentacles everywhere.
Yeah.
We got you.
Yes. And that's dope because I'm from Virginia. We don't have that much opportunity. So to see Maryland having that light on them, I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's like, this is unreal.
Yeah, but everyone has the same comment that you do. They always say, why Maryland? And obviously we're right here with DC as well, but we don't even get a lot of films here in DC.
Not at all. Not at all. And I don't understand why, but I'm definitely seeing that you're going to change that.
That's right.
Did you shoot Available Wife there as well, Tressa?
Yes.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that. Available Wife airing July 3rd.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yes.
That headline just has my attention already.
Yeah. And we're shooting, I'm doing a movie called Greenwood Avenue with Morris Chestnut. And the right now, what's on the table is, do we shoot in Maryland or do we go to Oklahoma to shoot? Wow. I'm going to try to bring it here, Mona, and see what's happening.
I know, but Oklahoma might have a problem with that. You might.
I know, but you know what? Nothing is there that used to be there. Like we don't have anything there.
Right. Well, you women are so amazing. Thank you so much for sitting with me. So how do you guys balance everything that's going on? You both guys have successful companies, successful releases. People really look up to you. How do you balance all of this? Because I need to know.
Listen, it is a work in progress for me. And again, everything seems to lead back to this self-care, mental health, even the idea of balancing, right? I was someone who, just pushed myself so hard to the point of being overwhelmed. A lot of the stressors that I was, under was self-imposed because it was just kind of all of these expectations that I placed on myself. And one of the things that I'm still working on is how to find that balance, right? I posted a picture the other day where I actually sat in the backyard with my husband and put my feet up.
Just a breather, right?
Like, chilling, and we have to take that time. We just don't do it. But what this pandemic has taught us, if nothing else, is that when it's time to sit our butts down somewhere, we're going to have to do it whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
And it's done that for a lot of us. Unfortunately, it was not under the most ideal of circumstances.
Absolutely not.
Because we had no choice. The world stopped. But I hope that we come out of this taking better care of ourselves and figuring out how to pursue those dreams, but be alive to enjoy it. Because we haven't run ourselves into a grave.
Exactly. That's one of the things COVID taught me, just sit down and just smell the roses, like even with my career, like I move so fast, I never get to just sit back and be like, wow, I came this far.
Yeah, no, that's serious. And
people dropping like flies. I'm sorry, Tressa.
Oh no, but Mona, I'm glad you said that because that was my comment. I think the change for me where I realized, okay, you have to implement balance is I've lost a lot of friends and watched a lot of girlfriends have strokes. So literally right now, there are at least 3 people who are in my age group. They had strokes. And so watching that, I was like, okay, wait a minute now. And I work harder than them. Mm-hmm. So that was the wake up call for me to say, I've got to make some changes, and the changes are like simple changes. Like, for example, I don't let my team book my schedule back to back all day. I'm like, I need a break in there somewhere. Like, I don't want to talk.
Deanna, are you listening to that?
Yeah, Deanna, I'm telling you, like when I don't see it, Mona, I go, oh no, who did this? Move somebody, because I used to feel like I couldn't say no.
Yes.
Now it's like, hey, I can't, because I feel like if I don't step up and say something, I'm going to be that person in the hospital. So
I literally said yesterday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. I can't do.
No,
I can't do without a break in between.
No.
So, you know, touching base, going full circle back to, you know, Almost Enough, the movie, it just is so important for us to recognize what we need to do for ourselves.
Yandy did such an amazing job.
Yeah, how we need to kind of stop, pay attention to what our body, our minds, our emotions are telling us, right? When we're under too much pressure and we're struggling to cope, not pushing ourselves further than what is healthy and further than what makes sense. And really, if we have, stopping to take a minute to, you know, do whatever is necessary to help ourselves get through that.
And that's what I really want to talk about. Almost Enough. Mona, so you have Yandy in there, and you also directed it. How were you able to keep that connection with Yandy? You know, with Love and Hip Hop, what made you want to bring her in and be like, she's the perfect person for this role that so many women can relate to?
Exactly, that connection, right? Yandy started out as my intern, fresh out of college. I watched her grow into a businesswoman. She left the nest and went off and did her thing. And what a lot of people may or may not know is that Love and Hip Hop was a product of Yandy having gone off and started managing Jim Jones, had this deal on the table. When I left Violator, my management company, to start Mona Me, brought her in as a manager in the company. And she had this thing that she had been trying to get off the ground. And it later blossomed and became Love and Hip Hop. So for me, there was this connection of us always going out into the world as I ventured into television arm in arm with her. And now stepping out in my directorial debut, it was important that I get this right and that I tell the story with the people surrounding me that I knew I could rely on to do the heavy lifting that I needed from her. And we had some other casting options, great seasoned actresses. But I knew that, you know, one, taking this step and wanting to bring Yandy along as well for the career growth for her, but two, knowing what I know about my baby girl, right?
Yeah,
she, when we're in the trenches, when
you come through
in a clutch, I know what we're gonna give. We're gonna come through and deliver. And she didn't disappoint. And she dug deep and she brought it every single time, and she was prepared and she did her homework and she had her, you know, stuff together. I said earlier, you know, she understood the assignment.
Period. Tressa, with your company, so how does it feel working with Mona and working with Yandy, which is in Love and Hip Hop, which is a whole nother, you know, atmosphere, to bring them into your projects with BET Her?
Oh, I loved it. Number one, Mona and I, we have a lot of similarities. You know, she obviously is doing primarily unscripted, but we're both business women. We're both married. We both have children. We both talk on the phone from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Oh, we used to talk from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. But, you know, so it was really great having someone who we understand each other. So I could literally just hop on the phone, even if it's for 2 minutes, and we know this is the goal. This is what we're doing. It's very easy when somebody speaks your language. So it was really a pleasure for me. And obviously meeting Yandy and watching her execute that role, that was amazing. I honestly did not know that it was going to turn out to be that amazing.
It was the quote where she said, they think I'm crazy, selfish, or dramatic. And it's crazy because even I go through this, everybody goes through this. And that's why I'm really like excited about the film, because you're making people feel comfortable. Like, why are people so afraid to say that, like, or why are people so afraid to accept the fact that, you know, not everybody's perfect. Not everybody can handle certain things. And, you know, sometimes life comes at you at once. So when she said that quote, I really felt that, because I go through anxiety, I'll go through stress, I get depressed, you know, I do a lot. So I really felt that quote. Like, what were your
goosebumps because
I
you are the
know.
target audience. You are who
Ooh.
we are speaking to. And the fact that that one line could resonate for you in that way, we did our jobs, Tressa. We did our
That's
job.
right. That's right.
Nice.
Aw.
Are you guys even bringing like real life scenarios? Like this is real, like being late for the job, the stress of like feeling like you're about to miss like your big opportunity, getting calls from the IRS at the same time.
Your mother in your ear, well-meaning, loves you to death, but like pushing you over the edge,
Yes.
you know?
Yes. Yes. You guys, like, I'm so proud of you guys that you guys were able to give off that story. So with the other films, tell me more about those and like what you want people to take from that.
Absolutely. So another film that's playing right behind Mona's, obviously July 10th at 10 p.m., Through Her Eyes, which is directed by Vivica Fox. It is a mental health initiative that centers around being having schizophrenia. And so that's a really good film as well. This health series started 2 years ago, and there's some other films that play in the series as well. And so we go from anything from depression to schizophrenia to
women can go through these days.
Yeah, so it's a lot of different situations. However, what I really love about this particular year is that almost enough we dealt with things that ordinary people every single day that we deal with. Some of the other initiatives, sometimes people find it difficult to find themselves in that situation. They'll say, oh, well, I'm not bipolar, so that's not me, right? Or I don't have schizophrenia, that's not me. Whereas this is simple. We have anxiety, we have our depressive moments, we all deal with it. And so I think
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Mom.
No, I'm so sorry to step on you, but the writer did such a great job, and this came from a very personal place for her, of telling this story that didn't have this big, dramatic, life-altering moment that caused the anxiety and the depression. It was just everyday life. And, again, to your point, Tracy, it's seeing those moments, recognizing that, okay, my inability to get up out of bed yesterday and me feeling sad and not knowing how to put my finger on it. And people thinking, oh, she's just being dramatic again, is why I don't want to say anything, because I don't want people dismissing it or making me feel, bad about the way I'm feeling, because I already feel bad and I can't, put my finger on what this is. That was very important for me to convey, that it's the little things. Yes, and those little things, they add up. And this is, a day in the life, but that day is a culmination of a lifetime of little things and disappointments and, falling short of expectations or, goals, and all of that just added up for patients. And I want people to understand that it could happen to anyone. And it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. It just means that you have a medical illness that you need to treat so that you can get better.
Yes, right. And I love how you guys were like speaking through that through the therapist, saying like, look how far you've done. You made the steps. Yes. You're doing exactly what you need to do. So I want to tap into
the steps are resonating.
Resonating. Yes.
That was a big thing for me. I kept saying, I want people to watch this and have one thing that they take away. I don't want this to be a passive experience. I want you to come out of it going, I watched this, but I also came away with something that I can utilize if I'm in a crisis and I need something. And so it feels like that's
working.
That's one thing I could say. It definitely made me feel more confident, made me feel more comfortable too, that I'm not alone. And especially when I feel like that I'm going crazy, a lot of times people say, you just need to pray, just need to pray it off and you go take it. But it's like, no, it's deeper. Yes, you guys really tapped in. So what is like something you guys took from that film that kind of like maybe like a tearjerker or something that's really triggered you or like hit home?
Well, I can say for me personally, a lot of those situations, like my average day, my mom is calling, my dad is calling, my daughters are calling. And so I typically will start my day like today. I said, hey, I have press all day today. I'll talk to you guys at 6. That was code for don't call me today, right? But the phone has still been ringing. So it's just one of those things where I said, you know what? Let me just manage the situations. Let me try to find ways to handle things. If there's a crisis and something is going on and there's nothing that I can do about it now, I just tell myself, hey, listen, there's nothing I can do about this, right? If I can't change the situation, I'm not going to react to it. I'm not going to give it so much energy. So it's really more about me changing my mindset. And when I watch this film and we look at the steps that patients took, we can even look at, okay, her mom called, you know, we all have that. You know, the bills are coming. We all have that, but what can we do about it? So I think that it really took us back to saying, these are things that happen to us every single day, but what can we do differently to try to help that situation?
Counterbalance that. Absolutely. And for me, you know, we started conceptualizing this, you know, going into this project prior to the pandemic, and, you know, going in through the pandemic as a business owner, I've got an entire staff that relies on me. I've got my family that I'm at the center of. And I actually, as a survival mode, went into extreme work mode, right? Of trying to just get up every day and push through and function. And I was doing that in the midst of dealing with, you know, worrying about where the business was going, worrying about where we were going as a world, where Black people were headed with all of the pervasive racism we were experiencing. I was watching the news, right? So I'm sitting there in front of my laptop from the minute I wake up, and it's, you know, and I'm also multitasking by watching CNN nonstop and seeing the George Floyd images and the Breonna Taylor story, all of that over and over again, and seeing all of the, you know, the pain and the suffering of people losing their jobs and people dropping like flies and dying from COVID. And I didn't realize how all of that was compounding. Right? I talked before about all the little things. All of those things were just kind of like creating this wall that was, you know, building on me. And there came this point where I was just sad all the time. And I didn't understand why. And I was brushing it off. Well, everybody's sad. Everybody's going through stuff right now. What do you mean you're sad? Of course you're. And I didn't realize that this cloud was setting in. And as I worked on the project and I started looking at it, and it became so important for me to highlight the little things, I realized that I had to kind of, you know, practice what I preach. I had to take a look at this and go, oh, wait, you know, you're experiencing the same thing. You're feeling the same way. And then I understood the importance of me, someone at my position, being vocal about that.
Yes, and that's,
you know, so the movie kind of was cathartic for me and allowed me to feel good about speaking openly about what I was going through as part of the message that I wanted to convey with the movie.
And you guys delivered that so beautifully, for real. And women out here, we're so grateful for you guys for even, you know, you guys are doing things that not a lot of women are doing. Like, you know, you're director, Mona, now, like you're director.
Thank you, Tressa.
It's
and I've got my director's chair to prove it.
Oh my gosh. So to wrap this up, what plans do you women have to like really take this to the next level, really touch the women out here in America? You know, film is amazing, but you know, we also have to get in these streets, you know, maybe like a panel. What can we expect?
Yeah, no, I think that's dope. Yeah. I definitely love that. I do believe that now that we have this platform with the network, you know, behind us saying, hey, you know, we want to do more of these. I definitely think some panels and doing more, you know, because now obviously everything is virtual, right? You know, Zoom is popular now, so you can reach more people by hopping on, you know, these different virtual platforms. But I do believe doing some things like that would be helpful, because once the films come out and people start seeing them, they're going to talk about them even more, which will give us more opportunities to reach people. So Mona, we gotta talk about that.
Tracy, that was a brilliant idea, because we always talk about how do we extend the reach, extend the messaging, and create, you know, 360 experience for folks. And you're right, you watch it, you have your takeaways, but how do we continue the conversation? What's the forum for, you know, getting more information and hearing more of these stories? And I think a panel discussion, something, you know, that tackles this with celebs or influencers talking about it, is a fantastic idea.
Yes, we really like you, beautiful ladies. I gotta go. I really look up to you too, and I'm so happy for you all, and I can't wait to see you guys in person. Like, wow!
Right.
Oh, Tracy, your energy is infectious. Thank you. So, you just made me happy looking at your face.
I'm so happy. But thank you guys so much. Is there anything else you want to plug in?
Oh man, Tressa, you got it. She's got so much going on. Like I said, she's got
you too.
July 3rd on BET Her. Of course, July 10th, 10 p.m., 9 p.m. Central. We're gonna have Almost Enough, and then Vivica Fox's movie closely following. What is her title again?
Through Her Eyes.
Through Her Eyes in October. There's the Breast Cancer Initiative, and there are two more movies coming there. I had this past Monday Inside the A, which was a retrospective look at all the reasons we love and Hip Hop Atlanta, in anticipation of episode 1 of season 10 of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta.
Say that again. Season 10.
Yes. Wow. Airing, yes, this coming Monday. And we've got so much in production and development. So a lot more coming from the both of us, right, Tressa?
Yeah,
all of us.
Yeah, we have a lot going on. I'm so grateful. Some days I go, what's really happening here? But yes, God is good, and I am grateful. Like, I'm grateful.
It's happening.
You know, I have my Empowered between Megamind and Mona Me.
Yeah.
Yes. It all goes together so perfectly. And while you guys are accomplishing all these things, you guys are making a change and speaking about mental health and the importance, of course, in the Black community. Thank you so much, you guys.
Thank you so much, Tracy.
Thank you, Tracy.
Tracy, I love your spirit. Love your spirit.
Absolutely.